good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Happy holidays. Um, as we stand in the heart of the holidays, there's the holiday seasons. They're always so full of emotions, and these emotions get intertwined with aspirations. And as we stand in the cusp of this new year, brimming with possibilities, I am honored to connect with all of you and share some valuable tools, some techniques that have worked wonders in my life, and countless other that I've had the pleasure of working with personally. In this webinar, we will embark on a collective exploration, I like to call it, of the art of manifesting, a journey fueled by the belief that within each of us lies the power to shape our reality. And I like to begin by expressing gratitude to each of you that did whatever you had to do, like I did this morning, to show up live for this webinar. Your presence is a testament to your commitment to personal growth and the unfolding of your desires, because there were a whole lot of people that registered. And for some reason or the other, most couldn't join us live. As you can see, I think there's like 10 people logged in, and I'm sure a few others will as well. But anyhow, I am grateful to you all that made perhaps that extra effort. Others, I'm sure they had their own engagements, and some simply made the decision, the passive decision, the choice to take, this passive approach and simply watch the replay at leisure later. And that right there, folks, sums up the quality of the human experience. Choices. The choices we make, I'll say it again, because this is important, and I want you all to get this. Let me let Tricia answer. She hears. Tricia, welcome. and listen to this. This is important. The choices we make, you see, the quality of our life is determined by a series of choices. That's it. That is it. Good choices give us good consequences. Bad choices give us bad consequences. You see, through ancient esoteric wisdom, we learned that all of creation, all of the beauty that we witness around us. Today, I'm usually outside. Today, I'm inside because it's quite chilly. But I'm surrounded by a lot of beauty. I live in a small mining town up in the mountains, maybe 1,000 people up here. So it's just me and nature. I have the birds, the rabbits, squirrels, bobcats, and, a whole bunch of other fun creatures that come hang out with me up here, and we just chill out, little ponies. I love my neighbors' little ponies, So all of this beauty that we witness all around us, on us, and within us rests upon 7 principles. One of these principles is the principle of cause and effect. In plain language, this principle simply states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. That is it right there. Nothing just happens. Therefore, if you look upon the quality of your life, the quality of your relationships, your career, situation, whether it's at the heart, mind, or spirit, that you're not feeling ecstatic about, that you're not feeling jubilant about, you have to stop and self-reflect, analyze, and get down to the root of it to understand why you lack certain dating prospects, why you lack, let me let Thomas in, why you lack certain opportunities, or whatever it is that you presently do not have that you desire. And that brings us to the first of these 7 principles. I'm going to go through all 7 just so you all know it. And then later on, we're going to really get into applying these into your life and to manifest them. First of these principles is mentalism. Through mentalism, we learn that all is mind. The universe is mental. Thoughts lead to the manifestations of things and events. Thoughts create our state of existence, the quality of our lives here on earth. Thoughts become things. The second is the principle of correspondence. Through the principle of correspondence, we learn that that which is above is like that which is below, and that which is within is like that which is without. As within, so without, as without, so within. In other words, the macrocosm, the large totality, if you will, and the micro, the very small, the individual units that compose the totality, are reflections of themselves, because the universe is holographic, meaning self-similar across all scales. So that means that whatever your internal world is reflected in your environment, in your relationships, in your being. So if you have chaos and you don't have peace, you have, so that ain't right. That manifests without. That manifests in physical ailments. That's the way it works. That is the principle of correspondence. The third principle is the principle of vibration. It says that nothing in all of creation rests, that everything is in a constant state of motion. The Buddha called this impermanence. Let me let Gia. The Buddha called this impermanence. But no matter what you call it, the important thing to know is that the universe is composed of, listen to this one, this is important. The universe is composed of, let me let Isha in, she can hear this too. The universe is composed of pure vibratory energy, manifesting itself in different ways. That's very powerful for us to know as we. How you doing, G? As we move forth into the new year to manifest the best version of yourself. But what's most important to understand today is that the universe has no solidity. As such, matter is merely energy in a state of vibration. Thoughts become things. Now, I keep saying that throughout our webinar, because it's important that we all get it. Thoughts become things. Everything is vibration. Our thoughts are energy. And we can transmute that into a physical existence. The fourth principle is the principle of polarity, meaning that all of creation is composed of a duality, that everything has its polar opposites, and opposites are identical in nature, and all paradoxes may be reconciled. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you're experiencing something bad, that if you're right now in a state of scarcity and sadness, the opposite possibility is also true. So no matter what you're feeling, what you're going through, you always hold on to that, because there's hope. There's always that which is on the other side. The fifth principle is that of rhythm. It states that everything flows, that everything has its tides, its seasons, that all things rise and fall, that the pendulum swing is equal to the left as it is to the right. Because rhythm compensates. That means that emotionally, your level of experiencing pleasure is equal to your ability to experience pain. So you take someone like me, for example. I'm a jubilant dude. I am capable of experiencing so much pleasure. In fact, pleasure, in my philosophy, is our highest good. And I seek out pleasure. I move through this earth to ensure that all five of my senses are in a pleasure state. And that means that I'm also capable of experiencing extreme hurt. I'm very sensitive. I hurt so deeply. And there can be no other way. That is the first principle. The sixth principle is one that we have already discussed, but we're going to do it again because it's very important. Cause and effect. Every choice that you have made has led to an effect. And if you're not happy with that effect, you need to make a different choice. But to be able to make a different choice, to empower yourself to make a different choice, you have to look to the root cause. And we'll dive in a little deeper into that. But right now, I just want to get to the 7 principles. The 7 principles is the principle of gender. Now, we're not speaking about physical genders, boys and girls. We're speaking of vibrational gender. This speaks to the relationship between the masculine and the feminine poles. In other words, those dualities I spoke about earlier. The feminine pole and the masculine pole are the two opposites that create the whole, the totality. This is the truth. He who has ears, let him listen, because this is the truth. This is the truth in all of creation. So anybody that talks to you about this or that, it has one specific gender, it's only speaking of one aspect of the totality, not the full totality. Because the totality is composed of all, and nothing can exist outside of totality. Now we're going to bring it in and speak about ourselves. The reality is that each of us has a masculine and a feminine aspect in all things. But let's speak about, a brain. There's a left brain hemisphere, which facilitates what we will call a masculine aspects. The masculine aspects of us, these are the intellect. These are logical, analytical, and linear processes. In fact, if you're familiar with chakras, you understand that right here lies our crown chakra. And the crown chakra represents our masculine pole. The right hemisphere facilitates our feminine aspect. These govern intuition. This is a more creative, compassionate, and holistic process within ourselves. And as you move throughout your life, as you analyze your life, you see that there's been moments in your life where you've connected with this part more than the other part. But the two parts create the totality, which is you. And our feminine chakra lies at our root. This is a creative principle. It lies at our root, where our genitals lies. And this leads to a whole lot of other magical things. We don't have time to get into that. The point is that these are the 7 principles upon which all of creation rests. Yes, Farida, very good. Now, before I share, as I mentioned, I will share practical uses for these principles so that you can utilize these principles to manifest the best version of yourself in 2024. I'm going to do a bit of housekeeping now that everybody's pulled up. For those of you who do not know me, I am Celestino Cornell. I am an urban shaman, and I believe that to better address our modern needs in this now, in this present moment, we are called to integrate ancient wisdom with practical knowledge. And that is exactly what I intend to do today. And that's what I began. I began with the ancient esoteric knowledge, these 7 principles upon which all of creation rests. And now we're going to move to practical uses for these principles. Because talking, and all these esoteric things mean nothing if we can't break it down to its simplest form, into a form that we can apply it into our lives, into a form that the average individual can apply it into their lives. And that's what I'm about. My process is about self-awareness, empowerment, realization. In all things, if you connect with me, you know me personally, you can testify to this. I stand to empower you and get you to realize the effects that your thoughts, your actions, your vibrational resonance is having upon your universe, is having upon your relationships, upon yourself, upon everything. This is why I created a personal transformation program that does exactly what I shared. It combines these ancient technology with modern scientifically proven techniques for a completely groundbreaking approach to inner child healing, sexual healing, and spiritual growth. Why those three? I'll let you alone in a little secret. If you address those three things, it will lead to a life completely fulfilled, emotionally, sexually, and spiritually. And that's what my program focuses on. Today, I'm going to share a fraction of the things that I share individuals in that program. That's a 12-week program where I take individuals working with me one-on-one to manifest the best version of themselves in every way, shape, or form that you can imagine. Now that I've said all that, if you need a potty break, take it. As I said, I think I'm recording. I think you're good. All registrants will be emailed a direct link to the replay if I did it right. And yeah, we family, so this is how I carry on. I don't put 20s on it. I don't put too much on it. I just tell you how it is. If you need a snack, you need a mimosa, you need a little coctelito, Michelle, you take it. It's all good. Oh, you got one already, huh? Today, we'll be speaking, a lot about energy. I'm going to be talking about energy, and as such, in my webinars, I always share that the energy in number 5 rules my life. I was born in the 5th year. On the 5th day, I was raised by 5 powerful women, and I'm the baby. Yo soy el consentido de la familia. The number 5 is a magical number. It represents the human experience, as experienced through 5 senses, because this is our reality. We are spirit having a human experience, and this body temple is our avatar, and this avatar allows us to experience this reality through our 5 senses: see, smell, hear, touch, taste. And this is why earlier I said that I move about this earth ensuring that all 5 of my senses are in pleasure states. That means that the things I see, they're beautiful. The things I smell, they sound good. I want to wake up in the morning to birds singing, not sirens. That's why I don't live in the city. The things I touch, like even when I shop, I touch the fabric. If it doesn't feel good, I ain't buying that. It's got to feel good. I got to be able to rub it, feel good. And the things I taste, just see the things I taste. Yeah, we also have 5 fingers, 5 toes. Most mammals, amphibians, reptiles, they also have 5 toes. It's a very magical number. And in honor of this, in all of my webinars, I share 5 practices that I want us to observe as we move about throughout the day. Number one is we're going to commit to speaking our truth. There's nothing weird about your truth. You're okay. We're all okay. Our thoughts, our craving, our desires. It doesn't matter what you want to desire in 2024. It's all good, right? And this, as we gather here for the next, 45 or whatever minutes, is a safe space. Number 2 is we practice non-judgment here. Why? Because the greatest expression of love is to observe another without judgment. Why? Why is this important? And the principle of correspondence. The other is our own reflection. The other is our own self. The ancient Mayans, they had this beautiful greeting. And they reminded each other, each time they greeted each other, they reminded each other of this truth by simply saying, in la kesh a la king. This same truth is spoken when we say namaste. It means the divine in me honors the divine in you, because I understand that the kingdom of heaven is within us. Number 3, we're going to stand in our power. We're going to take responsibilities for protecting ourselves. The chat is open. I encourage you all to connect, share support for each other, But do set whatever boundaries you need to protect yourself at all times, because today we're going to stand in our power, we're going to speak our truth, and we're going to practice non-judgment. You know what else we're going to do? We're going to participate, because in all things, we get what we put into it. So we're going to ask questions. We're going to talk, we're going to do this, because if you leave this webinar with more questions than answers, that's your fault, because I'm going to allow time for us to deal with everything that comes up. So step up and participate. And with that, I'm going to ask all of you, unless you're naked, please turn on your camera. You know what? If you're naked, turn it on too. It's good. Just turn on your camera, participate with me. Let me see you. It's this is a very inorganic process. I'm talking to this device. Let me let Dan in the room. I'm talking, to this device. I'm looking at these grids like the Brady Bunch. My eyes all over the place, and it just feels good. When I'm looking at one of y'all and I see a smile, I see a thumbs up. Those little gestures of encouragement. They mean a lot to me when I do these. It just lets me know that you're feeling what I'm saying and that I'm not putting you to sleep. You feel me? Number 5, thank you, G. I appreciate you. Thank you, Stephanie, for turning on your camera. Christina, thank you. I appreciate you both. Ashe. I might say that a lot too, Ashe. So, Aisha, thank you. Ashe in our practice. We say Ashe, and to us, we say in the beginning was Ashe. Ashe became conscience. All things were created through Ashe and with Ashe. So when I say Ashe to you, I embody upon you the power which created the entire universe, so that you are blessed with abundance of mind, body, and spirit. So again, I say Ashe to each one of you, my brothers and my sisters, all of my relations. Ashe. Depending on how I'm doing at time, I may stop at the end of each section and answer questions. However, I do intend to be respectful. I do intend to finish on time. Therefore, if I'm running a bit behind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just save it to the end. And, we're just going to chat. If you got to leave, you leave. Or whoever can stay, stay. But listen, I'm committed to your growth, to your evolution. I'm grateful that you all showed up live. And I'll stay as long as I need to stay to ensure that all of your questions are answered and you walk away from this virtual gathering with exactly what you need. I will ensure that. Now, what I want you all to do is, so you don't forget, the questions that might come up, add them to the chat. That way, if it slips your mind or whatever, when I get a break or something, I'm going to scroll through the chat. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to answer every question that's asked of me today. All right. Let's dive back in. Now, who's this webinar for? Let me clarify who this webinar for. So if it's not for you, you can go do something better with your time. Let you marinate on that as I sip my tea. This webinar is for anyone seeking profound. Thank you for the love, G. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Emojis are cool too. You can send me emojis, send me hearts, send me, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Yeah, this webinar is for anyone seeking profound transformation in the world. So if you find yourself yearning for growth, for the realization of your deepest desire, be it relationships, career, or overall well-being, you're in the right place. If not, like I said, go do something else with your time. But if that speaks to your heart, then yeah, you're in the right place. This webinar, I created this webinar for anyone seeking to unleash their untapped potential. Because that's the truth. Each of us has untapped potential. And this is what I want to stare upon you. So you move forth into the new year empowered, fully confident that whatever you desire, you can have no matter what your present situation is right now. Today, we're going to weave together the threads of self-love, shadow integration, and the law of attraction with what I call the secret trifecta of manifesting. You see, a lot of people, they know the law of attraction. They're like, yeah, I'm trying to manifest this and that, but they don't get anywhere. And I find that it comes to that because they fail to employ this secret trifecta of manifesting. We're going to dive in it today. But as I mentioned, self-love is a prerequisite for anything you want, and particularly for manifesting. You see, in our fast-paced life, like when we get busy, the first thing we do is stop taking care of ourselves. When we get busy, the first thing we do, we stop doing those things for ourselves. We stop going to the gym. We stop getting that massage. We stop getting our hair done. We stop these little things. You shouldn't do that. It's easy to overlook the importance of nurturing oneself, but the reality is that self-love is the fertile ground from which our dreams can sprout into reality. A lot of us struggle with that because we were taught, like I was, to put others first. That's the godly way. But the truth is that the best thing I can do for you is to work on myself. And the best thing you can do for me is to work on yourself. This is the truth. You see, without a deep, nurturing love for oneself, the journey towards manifesting our desired outcomes becomes akin to planting seeds in barren ground. Don't hear me? If you don't love yourself, like all aspects of yourself, not just like some parts, but all aspects of yourself, it's as if you're planting your seeds on barren ground. Ain't nothing gonna grow. Ain't nothing gonna grow. You have to really learn to love yourself. Self-love is a sacred journey of self-discovery where we reclaim and love on these hidden aspects of our shadow self. What's the shadow self? What's the parts of ourselves that we consciously or unconsciously suppress, often do through societal pressures, past experiences, traumas that we've suffered that cause us to self-judge. And we're like ashamed that these parts of ourselves, and you know what that leads us to believe? It leads us to believe that we are not worthy. So how could you receive when you feel yourself not worthy? Self-love is how you change yourself and how you change the world. It begins with that level of love. The other part is that these hidden aspects of ourselves, these parts of ourselves that we're ashamed to share, these parts of ourselves that many of us got bullied for, like the way I talk. I can't tell you for how long I hated the way I sounded. It's like I can pronounce certain things. I just sound like this. Listen, I can't tell you all what a journey it was for me to learn to love my voice. And that is the truth, my brothers and sisters. These hidden aspects of ourselves hold immense influence over our choices, our relationships, and overall well-being. A lot of them become these hidden distractors, these hidden persuaders that cause us to self-sabotage. But the reality is when we learn to love all aspects of yourself, when I learned to love my voice, and I started doing these movie projects, I started noticing people trying to imitate me. Shut up, bitch. They're trying to imitate me. I can't tell you how much fun I know people make fun of me in the way I talk, but here we are. We stay here. Navigating the labyrinth of our shadow. It requires immense courage. This is the truth. It requires courage. It's not for the faint of heart. That's why very few people attain any great level of success, because it takes courage. Most people rather just keep doing it the same. But navigating our shadows requires deep courage, because to do so, we must be willing to unravel layers of conditioning, of self-sabotaging patterns, traumas, and unmet needs. And that's painful. It's like if you off on a hiking journey and you fall, you bust your ass and you break an arm. And it just kind of melds together because, whatever. To fix that arm, you got to go to the doctor and got to break it again. So you got to re-experience that pain. And a lot of people, need my arm like that, so they walk around looking, little goofy. And that's why a lot of people don't dive deep and deal with their shadow. However, it is the only way to truly love ourselves and to liberate ourselves from the shackles of old narratives that keep us small and prevent us from stepping into our greatest destiny. Through shadow integration, we unveil treasures of wisdom, resilience, and authenticity. Because when you genuinely love all aspects of yourself, when you genuinely accept all aspects of yourself, you emit a powerful frequency. Listen, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. When people come around you, when people experience you, like, there's something about this individual. And like, this individual, like, wow, they feel it. They feel it because you're putting out this resonance. And you know what happens? You will begin to attract experiences that align with your inherent worthiness. So if you feel yourself worthy, if you believe in yourself, other people stop believing in you. But if you don't believe in yourself, they ain't gonna pick you for the team. You're just gonna stand there looking sad. You won't be picked. You feel me? But if you're sitting there in the sidelines like you ready to play, like you came to play, they're gonna look at you and you're gonna be the first one picked. And the way to get there is what? Self-love. Self-love. By embracing our uniqueness and fostering compassion for ourselves, we create the foundation upon which the law of attraction can work its magic. That's the truth. You see, at the core, at the very core of the ladder of Inca at its core, the law of attraction states that like attracts like, meaning that the pure vibratory energy of the universe, as we learn through the study of the principle of vibration, our thoughts, our feelings emit a vibrational resonance that acts like a magnetic force, drawing in similar energies and experiences back to us. Let's say it again, because that's important. You see, our state of being emits a vibrational resonance that attracts unto us that which we are like. And I'm going to bring it home. Because if you going around and all your dating prospects ain't shit, what am I telling you without telling you? You know what's up. I'm telling you, stop the buffoonery. Sit your ass down somewhere and deal with your nonsense. Work on yourself. And once you do, I promise you that bozo ain't going to be attractive to you no more. I don't care how good the sex is or whatever. You ain't going to mess with that bozo because you're going to feel yourself worthy of someone else is also doing the work. And guess what? Someone that's doing the work, that's showing up for themselves, is going to look at you. And if you ain't doing the work, they ain't going to waste your time on you. Come on now. So I'm going to all these speed dates and take my personal transformation program. Yeah, that was a shameless plug. All is my the principle, the principle of mentalism. See, the principle of mentalism, um, speaks to us and tells all is mind. So it all really begins with our mind, our mindset. Using these untapped potential of your mind, you can pull towards you the very things you desire, but first you have to become them. You have to be mindful because the universe doesn't discriminate. Be it positive or negative, the energy you emit determines the experience and the opportunities that flow into your reality. So if you're a negative person, you're going to attract more negative people, more negative circumstances in your life. If you feel yourself unworthy, if you move about putting out a frequency that's of scarcity, that's what you're getting back. You see, your thoughts, your feelings, and intentions are magnetic vibrations that echo into the cosmos, shaping your reality. If you consistently radiate positivity and envision yourself worthy of your desired outcomes, the universe responds in kind, bringing forth these opportunities and experiences that align with your energetic frequency. To illustrate this concept, picture an individual, any individual, who has ever overcome any circumstances despite of the challenges they face. In other words, that's each of us, because we all, at one time or the other, have been in some deep doo-doo and figured out how to bust out. That's the truth. How did we do it? How do any individual in that situation does it? They consciously cultivate a positive mindset, a can-do attitude. They set goals. You know what? By this time next year, I promise you one thing. I ain't going to be in this situation. Nah. I ain't going to be in this situation. By this time, it ain't going to happen. That's the last bozo I'm dealing with right there. You'll see. I'm never going to date a bozo like that. Mindset. They set goals. Connect with an individual like this. And in the process, they took inspired action. As they aligned their thoughts, goals, and actions, as we align our thoughts, goals, and actions, we began to experience a shift in our external circumstances. The external universe began to imitate our internal universe. Opportunities unfolded, relationships deepened, and a ripple effect of positive manifestation took hold. This is the truth. This is how it happens. There isn't a coincidence. This is the law of attraction in action. This is how it works. Our thoughts are potent creators because, as we learned from the first principle, all is mind. It all begins here. Mind. Our thoughts shape the energetic landscape of our lives. So as we delve deeper into how to unleash your potential, remember, the energy you emit is the energy you attract. Let's say that again. The energy you emit is the energy you attract. This is the truth. There can be no other way. Therefore, it is imperative that every moment of every day, you are mindful of the vibrations you are putting forth into the universe. You are ensuring that they are in alignment with your deepest desire. There needs to be congruency for the law of attraction to work. There needs to be what? Harmony. Because the totality, which is all, doesn't care about right or wrong, positive or negative. It just reflects. So it needs to be that congruency between that which you desire, how you're thinking, the actions you're taking, the goals you're setting. Now, bring it home. Bring it home a little more. If you want to manifest a lover that is emotionally available, this is a big one because it's the holidays. Holidays, it's cuddle season. So we're all thinking about, something cuddle. I love cuddling. I sleep with 8 pillows when I sleep alone. 8 pillows. I build myself like a little nest. And yeah, if you want to manifest a lover that's emotionally available and treats you as you deserve, don't waste your time. As I said earlier, don't waste your time with bozos because energy flows to where our focus goes. So focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And that applies to all things. Give another example of a student of mine, more specific. She had challenges in her career. And, as anyone who's gone through my program, we begin with the shadow work because all of the growth, all of the healing you desire lies within your shadow. So we began doing the shadow work to get to the root of her scarcity mindset. And as she began to address her unmet emotional childhood needs, which is big because that's a critical period in her life, and the traumas that she endured throughout her life, she then was able to switch the focus from the obstacles in her way to the opportunity she desired. It's the same thing when you want a relationship, when you want a lover. A lot of times you're making these choices being triggered unconsciously because of the role models you witnessed growing up, be that your mom and dad, those relationships. A lot of times we grew up modeling these unhealthy relationship patterns. So we find ourselves, dating our mothers, our dads. They look different, but the dynamic's still the same. Shit. 3,000 miles away from home and I'm still dating my daddy. So to break free of these self-sabotaging patterns, you have to go right down to the root, to that hurt, and heal that. Once you're able to do that, then you're able to switch, like my student did. And once she switched, she was able to manifest opportunities with a new work, with a new team, where she was finally feeling what? Validated, seen, and appreciated. Because basically, the truth of it is that she grew up in a situation, in essence, where she didn't feel worthy because no matter what she did, and particularly her dad, didn't see her. She never heard, "I'm proud of you. You're awesome." And she is awesome. Like, holy shit, she is awesome. But she never heard that. So with all of her achievements, she still had this feeling of unworthiness. But once we began to address that, she was able to shift and notice these changes. You see, those things that she was seeking, in essence, feeling validated, seen, appreciated, was the things that she was wanting from her father. So that hurt, that wound was being reflected back to her as she moved throughout life. And once she addressed that hurt, that wound, those things that she actually needed, it wasn't the money, it wasn't the promotion, but it was that feeling of feeling appreciated, of feeling fully seen and validated, was reflected back to her. So she went, from anxiety and tears of how much she hated her job, to how much she loves it. I mean, that's the truth. And as we continue on this magical journey we're on, I want you all to be really conscious of that. of the creative power um, that lies in these things. See, I'm gonna have to move a little quicker because running short on time. So I want to, before we log off, I want to talk about the three secret trifecta to manifesting, as I promised, and that is mindset, goals, inspired actions. Right. So it all begins with mindset. Mindset is the lens through which you perceive and interact with the world. That is very important. There is no other way. Mindset is deep and powerful. And a simple exercise that I advise all of y'all to do to shift mindset is to use affirmations. Affirmations are very powerful. So whatever it is you want, create an affirmation around that, and you're gonna repeat it, repetition, 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 every day, every day. This is gonna help you reprogram your subconsciousness to feel yourself worthy of that which you desire. The next thing is you want to set smart goals. What I mean by smart goals, your goals that you set have to be specific. You know, it can't just be like, oh, I want to be in shape. No, listen. I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Very specific. They have to be measurable. You need to establish a criteria to keep track of your progress. You understand? Like to say, if it's the fitness goal, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. Like a personal goal of mine is to do resistance training 3 times a week, to do yoga 3 times a week. So in essence, I'm working out 6 days a week. It's very specific, and it's achievable. I can do that. I got a little gym here. I got a deck where I do my yoga. I got a yoga mat. I can do that. It's achievable. But anyhow, you have to ensure that your goals are achievable. You know, you can't sit there and place a goal that you want to be a rocket scientist when you can't even pass a basic algebra test. Come on now. You know, if you have never meditated, you can't say, oh, I'm going to do Vipassana. You know, I'm going to go to a Vipassana center and meditate for, 11 days straight. No, baby girl, you start with 10 minutes and gradually increase. And they need to be relevant. Your goals need to connect with your broader life objectives. Understand? They need to align with your values and overall life vision. This is where you get purpose in the things you do. A lot of times we're doing this and that because it gives us money, but we feel unfulfilled. We feel like we have no purpose. You're in a career that's paying you a shitload of money and you're just like feeling empty. That's not good. And they need to be time bound, meaning you need to set a deadline. Setting a deadline sets urgency. Example, I will start a business in 30 days, or I will launch my online business by March 1st in the new year. Like, you need to set a deadline. And, I just really encourage you to really sit with your aspirations, the things that you desire, create the proper mindset. Affirmations are an easy way to do it, and then set smart goals, right? Then it starts moving. Then we get to the third part. This is where the magic happens. Inspired actions. Goals alone are like dormant seeds waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Inspired actions are what nourishes and propels these seeds for growth, all right? Inspired actions is what gets you to act. You feel inspired. You see, when you have the mindset, when you have the smart goals that align with your values, then you're inspired to get up in the morning and do what you got to do because it's important to you. It's tied into your value system. It gives you purpose. Mindset, smart goals, inspired actions. All right. So let me give you a few practical tips for inspired actions, and then we're going to do some Q&A, and I'll give you guys a ritual that you guys can do. And again, I promise to be respectful of everyone's time. But what you want to do is you want to listen to your intuition. All right, pay attention to your gut feelings. Those nudges, those internal, those things. Like, oh, talk to that girl. Ooh, do this. Pay attention to that. This sense of this enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is like energy of the gods. When you feel that enthusiasm, act upon it and cultivate mindness. meaning be present in the moment, like be aware of your surrounding, what you're feeling, how you're feeling. This will allow you to discern these things. And again, follow your excitement. When you get excited about a thing, that's it. And the truth of it, that our excitement, those things that we're excited about, a lot of that lies with inner child healing, with reconnecting with our inner child, those things we liked when we were children. That's the thing. See, a lot of finding ourselves as adults and returning to the things we liked as children. That's it. That's the process. So my other tip is number 4 is to trust the process. It's not going to be overnight, but I promise you, you have the proper mindset. You place smart goals. You take inspired actions. You're going to get to your destination. And as you navigate this journey of manifesting the best version of yourself this coming year, remember that. Remember that. It's just that simple. Mindset, smart goals, inspired action. All right. Now, I will share a basic ritual that's very powerful, and anybody could do it at any given time. It's actually, if you ever heard of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, amazing book, highly recommend it. He also speaks of this in his book. He shares his form of the ritual, but basically it's a visualization ritual, right? Visualization is the art of really visualizing your intended objective, but not just like seeing it in your mind's eye. You want to experience this with what? Those 5 senses we talked about earlier. That means that when you look in your mind, your mind's eye, and you visualize that which is you want. Let's say, for example, if you want the new car, you know, like place yourself in the driver's seat. You know, if you can't imagine it, go to a dealership, go take it for a test drive. And as you're doing it, be very mindful. Feel the leather and the steering wheel, smell it, you know, how it takes the curves, how it turns. And then morning and night, when you first wake up in the morning, I want you to take a few minutes and visualize yourself experiencing that reality. But it's already been manifested. It's like you don't want it, you already have it. So you're just taking a few minutes out of your day before you start it, and you're just going to experience that reality. You're going to engage your emotions, and you're going to experience it like this is already manifest. At nighttime, you're going to do the same thing. Right before you close your eyes, you're going to do the same thing. All right? Take a few minutes to live the experience of your desired objective. If it's a lover, you know, experience the totality of it, like deep. I want you to wake up with wet dreams. Like, I want you to feel it. And here's the other magical things that happens. You know, our subconscious picks it up. So our dreams really become that vivid, that reality. And a lot of times, you know what happens? We wake up with ideas like, holy shit, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I can't tell you how many things I've woken up in the middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning, just writing like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. I don't know if y'all have gotten a copy of my book, Inner Child Healing. That's how I wrote it. In the middle of the night, I just woke up. Whoa, I gotta write this down. Anyhow, I want to conclude because we're out of time. And, you know, I just want to share that, you know, creating the best version of yourself, it's not just wishful thinking. You really have to set these things in place. And number one is self-love and shadow integration. Number 2 is to truly employ the law of attraction. You need to practice proper mindset, smart goals, and inspired actions. All right. And now I'm gonna open up for the Q&A. Anything y'all want to ask me as you came here? Let me look at the chat, see if there's any questions you have missed. Love that line. It's for me. Thank you. Are you in Tahoe? No, I'm not in Tahoe. I am in the Sequoia Forest. Sequoia is my favorite forest. I saw these big giant trees when I was a young boy, and I said, I gotta get there. And boom, here I am. I own a 10-acre property out here in the mountains, and I love it. It's amazing hot springs. Love, 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 love it. Sometimes easier said than done. Yep. Sometimes it is easier said than done, the concept of self-love, because of this pain, this hurt that we carry. That's why, you know, I focus so heavily on it in my program. Yes, we have to keep in mind we are enough, Iconic voice. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. It's a great program. Oh, thank you. Let's see anything else. And y'all can unmute now. And you're most welcome. Yep, that's how you complete a screenplay. That's fantastic. Yeah, so y'all can unmute.
Hello, so, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh my, yeah.
I
What's
can.
the name of the book? I can't see the
Think,
name of the
think and
book.
grow
Why?
rich. Think and grow
Can't
rich.
see.
Think and grow rich. Napoleon Hill.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And someone asked,
Bless you.
you're most welcome. And let's see, what was this question that came in? Where can I find information on the program, Stephanie? Thank you very much. Well, here's the thing. I am, as I shared in the beginning, I'm committed to all your growth. As I shared, if you all have a chance, check out my IG. I shared a video of an experience that I had recently on my birthday. But I was sharing, about this totality, and I believe that we are the cells of one body, and I want us all to win. This is my truth. So, um, healing growth, as someone mentioned, is easier said than done, but it's a very unique process, unique journey. So, for your attendance and participation, I will make myself available to you all. Hop on a call, and we can view your unique needs, your unique situations. I could provide you some personalized advice in your process, and we can also see if you're a good fit for my program. For us to work one on one. And if we are listening, you're gonna be blessed. There's a couple of my students on, they'll tell you it's amazing. But if not, at the very least, you're gonna get personalized advice and guidance from me. All right. So you see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let me close this and let me bring everybody back. I'm gonna send an email with the replay link, and I'm also gonna provide a link in it where y'all could book yourself into my calendar. As I share, as I'm sharing right now, I won't get sun till the weekend, and I'm really really low on power, so I'm gonna finish this up and I'm gonna turn my satellite off.
Bless you.
But I'm gonna send a link, and as of next week, Saturday I get full sun. I'll make myself available to any of you that want it. Right. With that, I say ashe to each of you. I send you all love and abundance of blessings. Emotional, physical, and spiritual. Ashe.